Hi to whoever's watching this. My name is JP Vangsgaard, and this is my co-op reflection from my second co-op at LiquiGlide Inc. from January to the end of June. Um, I was the Marketing and Business Development Associate. That was my official title, but I was an intern really, but don't tell anyone that. And Basically, I guess I should give a little bit of background on what LiquiGlide is. It's a tech company that basically formulates coatings that allows slippery liquids to slide very easily. Um, so, for example, ketchup and mayo that have a lot of difficulty coming out of the bottle. We design coatings that allow ketchup and mayo to slide super easily out of the bottle, and toothpaste, paint, the list goes on of potential applications. Yeah, because it's a really cool, revolutionary technology, and so it was really fun to work for them. But because it's so revolutionary and a lot of people want it, a lot of people want to get their hands on it, and so my job, the majority of my job, was to field these emails that everyone sent, evaluate which ones were worth pursuing for the company, reach back out to them, try to get more information on how exactly they planned on using the technology, and try to kind of keep the business going from there. So I took a lot of the initial requests and fielded and sorted through all of that. So that was definitely where most of my time was spent. What did I hope to learn on this co-op? Well, I had done a bit of part-time work with them, with LiquiGlide, before I started this co-op, and there were a lot of things that I thought that I needed to work on after that. In particular, how I spoke to other high-up people in their respective companies, because I did that quite a lot, more than I was expecting, anticipating going into it. Also, tuning myself to think more technically and use kind of more detailed, sharper, more focused language, because a lot of the people that work there are engineers, and they're very smart engineers, and they like things to be very detail oriented, and my brain naturally doesn't work that way. So it was something that I needed to work on, and that's what I hope to learn. Discuss the most difficult or challenging activity. The most difficult and challenging activity was definitely talking to prospective clients on the phone. It was kind of scary at first. I had never done any business calls to that nature at all, and they were throwing me right to the deep end, having kind of the really important initial conversations with pretty high level people, high level engineers in these big companies. And I had never done anything like that, and so it was definitely intimidating and scary, but with practice I eventually got the hang of it. What I learned about myself, I learned that I thrive with challenges. I never really back down from them, and I always try my best to overcome them and do them as best as I can. I was definitely challenged in this position, but I'm so glad that I was, because if I was not, I would not have come out on the other side of it, learning as much and having grown as much as I did. Um, let's see, number 9. I know this is over 4 minutes, but it's hard to answer all these in lower than that. A task or activity I had never done before. Well, I mentioned calling other people, but other than that, I was also charged with making videos and editing videos quite a lot, and that's something that I had never done before, but it was something that needed to be done, and no one else in the company had time or had done it before, so they just threw it to me, which was cool, because I actually really ended up liking making and editing videos. And they actually turned out quite well, and they were very proud of my work that I had done there, which was awesome, because it was literally the first video that I'd ever made, and it turned out really well. And so, yeah, I'm glad that that happened as well. Number 13 is, come on, computer. 13, my co-op experience affect me. Well, I definitely learned a lot. I grew a lot in this position as a person and as a professional. Again, being challenged and that expectation of performing It really helped me to perform. If I didn't have that expectation, if they treated me just like a silly intern, I definitely would not have um, performed as well as I did, as well as they think I did, and as well as I think I did. Um, and so that was really good. I think I've become more confident in the workplace in particular. So yeah, so just positive things really. And how did this co-op decide what I want to do next in terms of career work? Well, I kind of, as I mentioned earlier, my mind isn't naturally very technical. I am a sociology major, surprise, surprise, so I like dealing in kind of broad concepts and wrapping my head around big, complicated ideas, and not so much focusing on little measurements and tiny numbers, and I've never been much of a math person myself. Um, so being very much in a technical field and a technical company, it kind of hammered that home for me that I didn't really feel at home all the time in my work, in my office. That's not to say I didn't enjoy it, of course, but I think I would thrive more in a field that kind of aligns more with the way in which my mind works and my mind tends to go, and my strengths and all of that. Um, I don't know if I would work in a tech company in the long term, but I definitely like the startup kind of chaotic, messy, unorganized, all hands on deck environment that a startup provided, like LiquiGlide. I really like that in work environment. And the academic reflection question, the inequality. I've read about, being a sociology major, I've read a lot about inequality with gender and women, particularly in engineering fields. And although at LiquiGlide there were a few female engineers at the company that were extremely bright, very talented, very kind, effective communicators, they were great across the board, but they always seemed to be in somewhat of subordinate positions. And I'm not really in a kind of overseeing position to kind of expand on why they were in those positions. But I think just being in such a male heavy dominated field that is engineering, I think their gender had something to do with it. I think women are just seen as kind of insubordinate to men in that field, which is unfortunate. It shouldn't be so, but I definitely kind of experienced that even in such a modern kind of um, new Cambridge liberal company. I still noticed it in parts. So yeah, so that's it. It's kind of double the length that it was meant to be, but it's hard to answer all these questions comprehensively in 4 minutes. So yeah, so that's my reflection. Hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, bye, Lisa.